Right. Hello. There's the time for case 2. Whee. As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. Big crimes and little crimes together. And when the wheel stops, you die. Two months have passed since Mr. Kevin's arrest. My first trial. I lost both my mentor and my job. Yeah, I'll admit it. I was screwed. And even when I hit bottom, I told myself I'd never come here. Honest. Here being the legendary Wright & Co. law offices. Okay, Justice. Time to stop trembling. You must be here for the interview. Right this way. Huh? Hello there. You found the right place. Welcome. What's with this girl? Oh, now, shall we begin? Begin? What? Right, first things first. Any special talents? Talents? Yes, well, you must have at least one. Well, I guess defending? Defending? An unusual talent, but it'll do. And a little jazzing up, of course. You think so? Let's give it a go, shall we? Huh? Go ahead, show me defend. Just give it all you got. Don't hold back now. What are you talking about? I can't just defend here. Just listen, a professional can perform anywhere. Thanks. We want people to be laughing with us, not at us. Thanks. I'm not sure why they should be laughing at all. What? What exactly do you think you came here to do? What? Defend? No. Excuse me, but do you know where you are? Huh? The Wright & Co. law offices, right? Oh. I was afraid of that. Don't worry, you're not the first. Look, what's going on here? Who are you? I came here to meet with the person in charge. Well, you've apparently made no fewer than 2 mistakes. Mistakes? But I got a call from Mr. Wright this morning. You should go read the sign out front again. What's there to read? Look, it says right there. Oh. Why does it say Wright Talent Agency? Welcome to the Wright Talent Agency, where you always come to the right place. I'm Tracy Wright, CEO. I'm a magician. It all came flooding back. The trial, that girl. Hello, sir. Please pick a card. That's right. She's my daughter. Trucy Wright? Here, check out our flyer. So, what's your name? Apollo Justice, attorney at law. So, is this really a talent agency? You bet. Daddy started it 7 years ago when he quit law. Of course, we only have 2 people signed up right now. 2 people? Does that include you? Tracy Wright, magician extraordinaire. I've done a lot of stage shows. pt2. I'm a professional, you know. Right. Promise you'll come to one of my shows, okay? Let's see. Oh, and the other person our agency represents is Phoenix Wright, pianist extreme extraordinaire. There. Pianist extraordinaire. There. Your dad, in other words. Didn't he say he couldn't play the piano? Our agency doesn't see that as a problem. Why, there are many magicians who can't do magic. At least you're optimistic, I'll give you that. So, you're Phoenix Wright's daughter? That's right. After Daddy quit Law 7 years ago, I promised I would keep him fed. So I'm kind of his sugar daddy, get it? No. I'm in charge of this whole office too. Pretty amazing for a young lass of 15, wouldn't you agree? 15? How old is Mr. Wright? Daddy? Oh, he's 33 this year. I'm sure there's a good explanation. I hope. About Mr. Wright giving up law. It was because of that incident 7 years ago, wasn't it? You know about that? Not details. I remember the news though, it was a big deal. So I hear. I was too young to understand what was going on. I'll ask Daddy about it next time I get a chance. Daddy, alright. That reminds me, about Mr. Wright. He gave me a call this morning to come in. Daddy's not here right now. He's in the hospital. The hospital? Yeah. He's on strict bed rest until he gets better. What? Okay. Which hospital is Mr. Wright in? I'll pay him a visit. Oh, the Hickville Clinic. It's quite close. Right. Well, I'll be going now and give this showbiz gig some thought, okay? Wait, I'll go with you. So this is Mr. Wright's hospital. Visitors, are you? Yeah. Are you the doctor? Dr. Hickville's the name. Morning, Doctor. Oh, hiya there, Trucy. Cute as ever. Yes, Miss Daddy's room. Oh, yeah. The safety's gone for a morning checkup. Be back soon. Hi, Miss Trucy. Got any places you would like examined? Doctor? Doctor, the nurse was looking for you. Why, if it isn't the old daddy you're the cutest learning in town. Guess I'll be up then. Later Tuesday. Wow, what an odd bird that guy was. Good morning. Didn't expect you so soon, Apollo. Mr. Wright? So, what happened? Who could have imagined it? Me, victim of a hit and run. You were hit by a car? Oh, he tried to swerve, I'll give him that. Picture me toss 30 feet through the air. Only stopping my head hit the telephone pole. You hit a telephone pole with your head? Are you okay? Thankfully, my only injury was a sprained ankle. Really is as lucky as they say. And there's something that, well, just doesn't sit right. I just can't believe you have a daughter, Mr. Wright. And she's so big. Not fat, but, you know what I mean. Oh, Trucy's still a child. Daddy, how many times do I have to remind you? I'm not a child anymore. I shall always be Daddy's little baby girl to me, Trucy. Oh, my foot. I'm not buying it. Oh, something you should know about Trucy. She's a magician, right? She told me. Not a mere stage magician. She's a genius. Oh, Daddy. I'll soon come to appreciate her talent. You could just tell me things instead of insinuating them. So, why did you contact me? What could the right talent agency possibly want with me? No need to get prickly now. Hey, I didn't ask to be dragged in like this. Huh? But didn't you come into the office of your own free will anyway? Well, yeah, of course. Help, we're in big trouble here at the office. Big. Thought someone was dying. So you don't think this is big trouble? My talent agency represents only 2 people, and one of them is in the hospital. That's right, Daddy. How are we going to pay this month's rent and the groceries? Yeah, that's the problem with such a tight operation. It's a symbiotic relationship. When one of us falls, the other 2 must fall. Hey, this isn't exactly a suitable conversation to be having with a 15-year-old kid. In any case, if Apollo here can't help you, I'll have to transfer to a new school again. No, I can't. I only just made friends. How could you do this to me? To us, Polly? What? Now it's my fault? On that note, how about you come work for us? I've got the perfect client for you already lined up. Client? You mean I get to do my job? I get to defend in court? Right, I hear what you have to say. You got him, Daddy. Hook, line and sinker. Now it's time to reel him in. It's official. I'm scared. Alright, so who's the client? Ah, yes. Here, take a look at the map and I'll explain. Last night, I left the office just before 9 o'clock. I was going to that Indochine pasta joint out in Tees. I play piano there, of course. And that's when it happened. The car sent me flying, nicked a telephone pole, and zoomed away. Creepy, huh? Just a tad. It's almost as creepy as hearing you tell the story like it was no big deal. The car sped off in this direction. So, good luck. Huh? You wanted a client, didn't you? Well, I'm your client. I'm the guy who knocked me into that telephone pole. Whoa, hold on. I'm a defense attorney, not a detective. Don't worry, once you found the guy, I intend to sue him. Then you can stick it to him in court. I'm not a prosecutor either. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. I'm going home. Don't get so worked up. It was just a joke. Huh? Oh, Daddy. Sorry, Apollo. He just loves jokes, you know. Even the ones that aren't very funny. Your real client should be stopping by the office any time now. The office? You mean the talent agency? No harm in going. It's not like I have anything else to do. One more thing. Do look into my accident too, would you? I marked the scene of the tragedy on this map. It's right in front of this park. Should be easy to find. So he's going to make me investigate this after all. wrong button. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Thinking of which, give me a second. Okay. That's better. I've got both my cushion and to turn on the light. It's awfully dark these days. Hey, hey, hey. How long are you planning on making me wait, eh? Good morning. Hey there, Trucy doll. Sounds like your pop's had a bit of a rough spot, eh? All's well that ends well, I guess. This is our client. Hey, so this is that Polo fellow, eh? Oh, yes. His name's Apollo. Look at him there. Arms all crossed like ready to fight. Yes, sir. You don't mean that literally, do you? Boss told you what I need, right? Don't let me down now, Polo. Don't worry about the defense, sir. I'm on it. Defense? Your noodle half-cooked. It's too late for defense. My castle's been stormed. My keep's been kept. My noodle stand's been stolen. Noodle? You know Mr. Eldoon from the noodle stand, don't you, Polly? Nicknames, please, and no, of course I don't know him. You new in these parts? Not really? Then you know the best noodles in town. Eldoon's noodles. Whose noodles? My noodles. Help me out here, Trucy doll. This is Mr. Guy Eldoon, our client. Maybe you can tell what the problem is. Tell us what the problem is, Mr. Eldoon. Anything for you, Trucy doll. So, you run a noodle stand, Mr. Eldoon. Guy Eldoon's the name, and noodles are the game. My game. The secret's in the soup. I've been searching for the perfect soup for 1.5 years. Oh, that's not that long, really. The family's been noodle men for generations. Got a lot of expectations on my shoulders. 15 fathers passing the noodle to 15 sons. That's a pretty old noodle. Oh, and fool that I was, I pushed it away. Rebelled against my pops, and picked another livelihood. But that didn't turn out so well. Oh, there was no denying it. Salty broth runs through these veins, boy. Oh, it was like destiny, you became what you are. Right, destiny is the word. Oh, I fought it. But in the end I was bound by the twisted noodle of fate. Not a mental image I can't linger on. So, last year I started my noodle stand. The 15th generation of Eldoon's noodles. So tell me more about Eldoon's noodles. You don't know the genius that are my noodles. I make them so salty, while they're saltier than salt. Now I really don't want to find out. Daddy's a regular at his noodle stand. He frequented my pop stand back during his attorney days too. Yep, him and his assistant. I'm sorry, I'll be sure to drop by your stand soon. Wish you could, Sonny. Heck, I wish I could. I'd give anything for a bowl about now. What do you mean? It was stolen. My stand. Gone. Stolen? It was last night. I was doing my rounds, blowing my whistle. It's like an ice cream truck's bell, but louder. He even gets complaints. Now you're just trying to butter me up. Sounded more like the blues than a whistle. I closed up my stand for the night and parked by the fence by the house. Then this morning, dark and early, it was gone. My keep, my castle. Oh! Maybe some bum carted it off. Just guessing here. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand unfinished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. It's the saddest thing I've heard all day. You know it. Anyhows, that's the deal. Good luck. Good. Oh, wait. What exactly is your request? My noodle stand. Find it. And the day you bring my baby back is the day you feast on as many noodles as you want. Of course, I make it so hot and salty 2 bowls will kill a man. Then I'd rather really need defense. Speaking of defense, that's what I do. I'm a lawyer, not a detective. And this is where I live. You drop by if you need any info, okay? Get it back today if you can, Polo. I got noodles to make. Things have certainly taken a turn for the bizarre. Traffic accidents and noodle stand thieves. Actually, there was something I wanted to ask you about too, Apollo. Huh? I have a bad feeling about this. No, listen to the lady's problem now. Don't be cruel. There was something last night. That is, something was stolen. Hey, what's this? More thieving and skullduggery. Well, someone stole a pair of my panties. Panties? So they were, stolen. Your, my panties, yes. Right. Panties. That's a crying shame, that is, Trucy Doll. I was alone in the office last night. I'd hung my panties out the window there to dry. When the thief came and took them, my favourite panties. I ran after him. Give those back, I shouted. Wait! Well, that was certainly brave of you. Then I asked him, without those panties I don't know what I'll do. Darn crying shame. Yep. Well, at least the scene of the crime is convenient. I'll mark it on your map. I'll be heading home now. Remember, find my stand or there's an empty bowl in your future, Polo. Right. And you help out Trucy Doll here too, you hear? Things have certainly picked up, haven't they? We had no work yesterday, and now we have 3 cases. I guess. Let's see where we stand. Not in a courtroom, that's where. Well, the first item on our list Phoenix, right? Daddy's hit and run accident. We have to find the one who hit him. Who's going to pay us for this again? And the second item, Mr. Elton's request to find his stolen stand. For which we stand to gain a bowl of salty noodles. And the last request is mine. Find my stolen panties. The bowl of noodles is looking better and better. Let's go, Polly, to the streets. Aren't you enthusiastic? How could I not be? Let's crack these cases, you and me. Guess we might as well get started. Let's see, hit and run, a stolen stand. And last but not least, stolen panties. So this is the way Mr. Wright got hit by that car. According to the map, this is the place. What a huge mansion. Feels like Chinatown. Oh, there's a nice looking lady over there. Let's question her. Okay. I'm a little curious about the park over there too. Excuse me, can we have a few words with you? You want something? Whoa, that husky voice. Why am I suddenly sweating? That's quite a horse you've got there. You must have a lot of money. That house you got there, blech. Can't read. That's quite a house you've got there. You must have a lot of money. Whoa. Money sounds like something my son would call his friends. This is the pt2 family mansion, little girl. Huh? You, kid with the hair, you want something? Me? Not a thing. Bye. Hello, we can't leave without questioning her. What if she knows something? But the pt2 family... the biggest organised crime syndicate in town. If you're going to ask something, ask it, if you're man enough. Right. Yay, way to whip him into shape, ma'am. Does she know no fear? I'm Plum Gataki, wife of the fourth head of the pt2 family business. Friends call me Little Plum. I'm Little Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Let's go kill. This woman would be a mass murderer by now. Little Plum, that's a really cute name for someone so... Yes? Whoa! What is it, Apollo? How about you go through me when you're talking to her? Okay, Trucy? That seems like a bit of a needless procedure. I'm a lawyer. I live for needless procedures. Oh, little gal, you should know. We're gangsters. Gang? Oh, that means you're the bad guys. Trucy, through me, please. I'm begging you here. The bad guys. I like the sound of that. I'm going to need some warm tea after this. Takes a lot of hard work to protect a family fortune. Things aren't as easy as they used to be for us bad guys. So, you're saying that business is in a slump? Let's not ask about business if we can help it, please. There was a car accident here last night. Last night? Of course, you wouldn't know anything about it. Sorry to bother you. Wait. Yes? You're talking about that man, aren't you? The one who flew 30 feet and just walked away. That's my daddy. I should have known. One of our capos thought he'd make a great point man. Capo? Point man? Could you avoid using too much, industry lingo? In any case, it's been nothing but trouble. I've been cleaning up this mess since morning. Cleaning up this paint? Was the paint spilled at the time of the accident? It was around 9 last night. I heard a crashing noise. I found your father drowning in a sea of paint. So, you came to his rescue? You, my husband, the boss to thank for that. The car that hit your father knocked over this paint, then turned the corner and sped away. We're in the middle of repainting our wall, you see. I'm sure that dragon is glaring at me. But why are you out here cleaning it up? What do you mean? I mean, aren't you a gangster? Don't you have any goons to do your dirty work for you? Please, go through me when you want to. Don't be such a stiff lawyer boy. I suppose we gangsters do have a certain image. Yes. But we're community-orientated gangsters, you see. The boss likes to give back to the people, see? How noble of him. I availed myself of the public facilities to get rid of all the garbage. Now there's just the paint on the street to deal with. Public facilities? I wonder if she means that trash can. Who's that? She's looking at the park. She's pretty. I bet she has a story, you know. There's something about her. Too bad she seems to be in a bit of a rush. There's a big trash can on the way into the park. I guess we could check it out. Detective's note sure is a hard one. I'm an attorney, actually. Huh? 2 pieces of garbage with paint on them. These are slippers? Look like those slippers you get at the hospital. Look at this, Apollo. Doesn't this go on a car? It's a side view mirror. Looks like it was torn off when it smacked into something. Or someone. Wait, you don't think... I do. This could be from the car that hit Mr. Wright. Well, and he took off its mirror. I never knew Daddy was so strong. I only have room in my pocket for one of those, though. One of these, though. Which do you want to take? Yeah, which do you want to take? Personally, I'm a little more interested in this park. You know what I think? I bet they're filming a movie. Let's go take a look. Maybe we'll see someone famous. Hey miss, stay out of the park. Not mad at me. Did something happen here, officer? No. Move along. Nothing to see. Why don't you kids go play someplace else? We're not kids, and we're not playing. I'm an attorney. Something wrong? Detective Sky, we're fine, ma'am. Nothing to report. Detective? Why is she wearing a lab coat? I hardly want to go on how people are dressed. And these kids are? Curiosity seekers, ma'am. They claim to be lawyers. Why don't you kids run along and play someplace else? Look, we're not. Or I might spill something on that pretty face of yours. Want a dose of experimental... hydroxyselenodostress? Come again? What's hydroxy stuff? Whatever it is, it doesn't sound good. Let's go, Trucy. Try to keep out the riffraff if you would. Yes, ma'am. Are we going to get more information like this? Why don't we ask that nice woman across the street? Oh yes, that nice woman. Can I ask you a question? What? What happened in the park across the street? Oh yes, quite the commotion. Chicago lightning, as the boss would say. Chicago, huh? Gunfire. Someone was killed. Strange circumstances too. You're kidding? What a morning. Trouble everywhere. The park, the gate, even our house. Did something happen at your house too? Crime without honor, without remorse. It's a private matter. Want to hear about it? Somehow I don't think no is an acceptable answer, Polly. So, what happened at your house? Bloomers, last night. Huh? I've got a bad feeling about this. My little plum Kataki. The victim of a panty snatcher. What? So it wasn't just my panties that were stolen? Got you too, did they? Poor thing. Like I said, whoever did this is a hardened criminal. It wasn't you, was it? No, of course not. Mercy. I've heard word that panties have been disappearing lately. And the missing panties all have something in common. It's hard to imagine Trucy's and Miss Kataki's panties having much in common. I just imagine Miss Kataki's panties. I know, we'll find your bloomers too. Great. Show me what you're made of. What have you gotten me into this time, Trucy? That girl from before. Oh, welcome home, sweetie. Hello, Mother. She's a Kataki too? Miss. Here, our flyer. The Right Anything Agency? Anything Agency? Yeah, do you like the new flyer? So, this is our defense attorney, Mr. Apollo Justice. Attorney? Drop by our office. We'll be waiting. Goodbye. Why did you give her our flyer? I don't know. She seemed like she could use some help. She's the heiress to a gangster's dynasty. She doesn't need our help. I wouldn't be so sure. So, what's this place? This would be Mr. Eldoon's house, silly. Oh, So this is where his stand was stolen from. I can see a piece of evidence lying on the ground already. Hey. Look, there's a police car parked over there. Right. What's with the sparkly entrance? What is this place? A hospital? There's a sign. Mirakitis Clinic. Oh, that's where the thief went. The thief? The one who snatched my panties. He ran into this clinic last night. Wait, maybe that police car is here to find my panties. I doubt it. Well, there's only one way to be sure. Let's investigate. Ah, there you are, Sonny. Well, you find anything yet? No, not yet. The longer you loaf around here, the saltier your victory bowl gets. Just remember that. This bowl of noodles is sounding less like payment and more like punishment. So, your stand, Aldoon's Noodles, was it? Right, passed down from father to son. That stand's seen its share of salt. Salt runs in the family, you might say. I bet high blood pressure... There, I bet high blood pressure does too. So, your stand, Aldoon's Noodles, was stolen. Well, it wasn't just the stand that was stolen, sonny boy. I lost those wobbly wheels, my salt-crusted stew pot, my stained sign. I didn't just lose a stand, I lost a legend. No one steals the legend and gets away with it on my watch. Let's find that legend, Apollo. And then, isn't it about time you brought a new one anyway? Are there any more details you could give me about the stand? You bet, sonny boy. It happened last night. I was blowing my whistle like always. Crying the town, I was. The smell of broth filled the streets thick and salt. I got home, well, right before 10 PM, I reckon. Guess he's not aiming for that late night market. Washed my bowls and gave the wheels a squirt of grease. Then I went inside. When did you notice it had been stolen? Early this morning, before the sun rose. Work starts early. Do that many people eat noodles for breakfast? I'm washed up on the salty shores of ruination. That stand had my whole life in it. Nay, my whole being. They took everything? All my soup stock, my noodles, my bowls and my dreams. At least they left one bowl. Look, they're on the ground. You don't find that stand today, I'll be forced to walk the streets peddling that bowl, my last bowl. Please, I'm under enough pressure here as it is. That's it. That's where the thief who snatched my panties ran to. It's a crying shame, that is. They have to steal, make it my loincloth, not some pretty girl's panties. The garage, right? You don't think the thief lives here, do you? I wouldn't put it past that good-for-nothing doctor. I detect a little animosity here. Let's make sure to check out that garage thoroughly. Is this yours, Mr. Aldoon? There's the heart and soul of Aldoon's Noodles. The bowl absorbs my salty soup. Pretty soon it's gonna taste just like the noodles. does smell like noodles. All my other bowls got taken away with my stand. Get it back from me, sonny boy. I'm begging you. That doorway sure is sparkly. Emeritus Clinic, huh? Looks more like a casino parlor than a hospital. It must be quite profitable. Funny, that's closed. Maybe they're on vacation today. This is the place. This is where that panty snatcher ran. Are you sure? Maybe. Let's look for clues. Clues? Clues to a panty snatching. Clues like a pair of panties. Trucy? Could you try not saying panties so many times? There's something about this car. Let's take a closer look. That reminds me. I once read a record of a case that Mr. Wright worked on many years ago. Apparently there was a car with a piece of cloth shoved into the tailpipe. That piece of cloth turned out to be a vital clue to solving the case. Wow. I remember that case record whenever I'm checking out a car. And I always check the tailpipe. Everyone's gotta have a hobby, I guess. Wouldn't it be funny if... Hey, there's something in there. What? Wait a second. Are these your... Ah! My panties! What? Already? Wow, thank you, Apollo. You're a genius. Amazing. No, really. Don't mention it. No, I'm serious. I'm really impressed. You must have a nose for finding girls' panties. What are those? My little pennies, of course. They've come home to Mama. I can't wait to use them. You're going to put them on? Now? Much closer now. See? Nothing in the panties. Ta-da! Whoa! What? Where'd that come from? How did the ball get in your panties? My panties are an extra-dimensional space. Anything can fit in there. They're my magic panties. It's one of my best tricks. Magic panties. I love them over at the Wonder Bar. I do shows there nightly. You mean those panties are a prop? Yeah, you could have told me a little sooner. Oh, that's one case closed at least. What are you saying? You still have to catch the sly devil that ran off with the tool of my trade. All right. Something tells me we're not finished searching this garage anyway. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure. Wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. We should bring it to him later. Hey, look at that! The mirror's been broken off. Now this is a clue. What? You're smiling like you know something I don't. You aren't keeping a clue from me, are you, Polly? Clue. Let's see. I think I do have just the clue you've got in mind. My clue is this. Wow, it's the same colour and size and everything. A perfect match. I guess we could check it out. 2 pieces of garbage with paint on them. Look at this, Apollo. Doesn't this go on a car? It's a side view mirror. Looks like it was torn off and it smacked into something. Or someone. Well, looks like we've just solved a case. So the car that hit Daddy last night. Sitting right in front of us, yep. Well, you put the pro and professional, Apollo. Gee, thanks, Trucy. Apollo. Huh? What is it? Now that we've solved this case, we should go report to Daddy. He'll mope if we leave him alone too long, knowing him. Okay. Doesn't seem the type to mope, though. This is hardly a case worth reporting. Mr. Wright's gone. Maybe he's gone for an examination. He'll probably be back soon. Let's wait. I think it might take some time. Daddy always loves his examinations. Don't ask, Justice. You don't want to know. Why don't we come back later? Yeah, I guess you're right. What am I missing? Looks like they have a special offer going on. 3 shots for the price of 1. Ooh, now's our chance, Apollo. Chance for what? I don't need any shots, thank you. Whoever runs this clinic, they seem pretty business-minded. I don't understand if there was an ambulance outside. The police car? Maybe they're tax evaders. Sorry, miss. No going into the clinic today. Did something happen? Huh? Oh no. Nothing to see here. Move along. I'll have to find someplace else to play doctor. You're not at the right age to be playing doctor. We need a little more info on this Mericatus clinic. You can ask Mr. Eldoon. He's their neighbour and all. We should check out the garage. What if you stole my panties are still in there? There it is. Hey, do you think something happened next door? There's a police car out front. Yeah, probably gave someone food poisoning, I'll bet. There's a risk of giving someone food poisoning. That police car got here this morning, actually. I asked what they were up to, but they wouldn't even tell me the neighbour. Not that I was surprised much. That doctor works for the wrong crowd. It was just a matter of time before he got what was coming to him. There. Wrong crowd? Never you mind about that. Yo, how goes it? Daddy, how do you feel? Not bad, Trucy, not bad. It's good to have you young'uns on the case. That's old Dad-o gets some well-deserved R&R. The elderly need their rest. Isn't he only 33? We cleared up most of the cases. I was right about you. Competent, capable. Tell me what you found out if you want to. Your enthusiasm is overwhelming. Well, I certainly didn't expect you back this early. Ollie's amazing. He found my panties so quickly. Almost like he was the one who stole them. You have an interesting concept of praise. And? Did you find the mad driver who gave me that 30-foot toss? Apparently, it was a doctor from the Maractus Clinic. Maractus Clinic. There. Maractus, eh? I've heard of him. Nothing good, mind you. That reminds me, a police car was parked outside the clinic. Maybe something happened. What is this Maractus Clinic, anyway? All I've heard are the rumours. That clinic's been making good money, in a bad way. Bad? Ties to organised crime. The Kentucky family. The Kentucky family? They did that on purpose. Some injuries you can't take to a public hospital, see? They use the Maractus Clinic for their pet shop jobs. Interesting. It looked like something had happened in that park. A body was found there in unusual circumstances. Something more unusual than being dead. It's not our concern in any case. Right, let's ignore that and find that noodle stand. Whatever happened to professional curiosity? Thanks, really. If I get tired of sleeping, maybe I'll head down to the Maractus place. To this Maractus place. Maybe hit 'em up for some reparations. A little legal action would do me some good. I was wondering when I get paid. We solved the case of your accident and, found a missing article of clothing. My panties! That leaves the noodle stand. Huh? Feel free to drop in if you get stuck. I'd be happy to help with anything you're not involving money. Goodbye, quid pro quo. Hello, pro no bono. Right, back to the office to plan our next move. You're the woman from the Kentucky place. Yes. I knew it. Something's the matter. Something's the matter and you want our help, right? Well, you've come to the right place. This way, please. is Elita Tiala. I have a request. Your request? Let me guess. Something's been stolen. Your flyer. It says now defending, so I thought... What? You mean you want me to defend you? Me? Maybe you can tell us what happened. Were you hit by a car? Did someone steal your stand? Or your panties? No. I'm not the client, actually. The client would be my fiancé, I suppose you'd call him. Fiancé? What happened to him then? He was arrested this morning. The charge was murder. Murder? Have you heard about what happened at the park? So, what's your story? You frequent the Kentucky mansion, yes? Are you a member of their, organization? No, not yet. Not yet? You see, I'm to be married next month to the boss's son. Boss's son? So he's, a gangster? Yes, but the Kentuckys are locally responsible gangsters. I thought it'd be nice for a change. Quit my boring job, live the good gangster life. I think you're onto something. Miss Kentucky, I like the sound of that. I'm not sure your daddy would care much for that. What happened? I haven't been told all the details, but I do know a body was found in the park, near the Kentucky mansion. There were a lot of police cars there. Apparently the victim was shot with a pistol. I hear the circumstances of the shooting were rather unusual. And your fiancé was arrested for this. What sort of person is your fiancé? Your fiancé is the Kentucky family's only son, correct? His name's Waki. Waki Katai. Kentucky. Waki Kentucky. There. I brought a photo. Oh, that's quite the photo. I know. Oh, he could be powerful and menacing, but so cute. But if he's the boss's only son... Yes, I'm sure he'll take his father's place someday. Say, I'm a boss already, at this agency. Please help my walkie, please. Right, my first solo defense case. Crime boss's son or not, I'll prove his innocence. He's innocent. There. I prepared a letter of request. I know you need those. Right, let's go check out the scene of the crime. So this is it. My first murder crime scene. Ah, shoot kids again. Look, can't you find some other place to play? We're not playing. We're, investigating. Aren't we, Apollo? Sir, I have a letter of request here. Letter of... huh? Why does it say hit request on it? Miss Tiala must have used the Kentucky stationery. Excuse me, coming through. Excuse me, coming through. Ah, shoot, Mr. Gavin. Who's this guy? I must say, I'm being Must say I'm used to being inspected by the ladies. This is the first time I've felt this way with a man. Mr. Gavin? Ach, Fräulein, what is a sweet morsel like you doing in such a dismal place? Can I help? Yes. The policeman officer fellow here won't let us in. We even have a little request. You must be exhausted standing out here. I'll take you to the scene of the crime. Oh, really? By your leave, officer. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Very well. This way, Fräulein. Whee! Hey, what about me? On that note, enjoy your investigation. Thank you. Will we see you again? Ask the wind, Fräulein. I'll be riding on it. Who was that? Hey! Fräulein, look! A corpse! What? Hey, it's just a mannequin. Well, it sure got me. Ahem. Might I ask what it Might I ask exactly what it is you're doing here? Oh, it's you. How did you kids get in here? Oh, this guy. Well, he was more like a prince, really. He let us in. Him again. That glamorous fop, always getting in my way. Anyway, this scene is off limits. Excuse me, we have a letter of request. One moment. Why is she holding that big magnifying glass? I'd recognize that handwriting anywhere. Scientific analysis says this was written by Alita Tiana. Thanks. It took you 30 minutes to figure that out. So, what's up with the mannequin there? Taking the place of the body, preserving the scene of the crime as it was found. The body is pulling the stand? So you're a defense attorney, are you? Detective Emma Skye, I'm in charge of this crime scene. She doesn't seem that happy about it. She doesn't seem that happy about many things. I trust you know how to stay out of the way. I always carry 2 pairs of handcuffs, just in case. Detective Skye. Quiet, please. It's snack time. We're not making much progress here. She must not be very busy. I never seem to get a lunch break. I get a lucky break. Like after 9 years and they won't give me the position I requested. And then I hear he gave up the defense attorney life. Who's he? The next defense attorney? Detective Skye. You just can't do that, are you? Let's finish this one as well. Where's Mr. Wright? Maybe he's getting an examination again. How many does he need? Wasn't it just a sprain? Too bad, Polly. You wanted to show off your request to Daddy, didn't you? What? Me? No. Well, that's a surprise. Let's just come back later, shall we? Anything? Polly, you look as happy as a clam in its shell. Lawyer, this is it. The place where the battle begins. You need some... yes, we're attorneys. I was hoping we could see Mr. Walkie Kitaki. Sorry, he's in question right now. Could take a while. Drat. Oh well. Guess we'll have to come back later then. So much for that battle. Hey there, no messing with the crime scene. But we need to investigate. Investigations are to be carried out by professionals, scientifically. She's not going to let us check out the crime scene, is she? Hey, hello. My very unscientific analysis tells me something here is very suspicious. I don't know what you mean. Kind of not to notice. Better check out what we came here to find, at least. Hello, look, that stand. It says Eldoon. I've noticed. Well, we solved the case of the missing stand, at least. Though the circumstances could stand to be better. Oh, Mr. Eldoon. Hello? Looks like he left. And we found his stand and everything. What about our free bowl? Too bad. Looks like we'll have to wait a little longer for that bowl. So sorry. Oh, what a bummer. Ah, you're back. Run into some problems? Oh, Polly, didn't you want to tell Daddy something? Who, me? No, I'm fine, really. What's this? So there is a problem. No, no problem. Actually, I got a defense request. A defense request? That is a problem. Huh? I've given up the court. I'm not a lawyer anymore. The request was for me. Oh, right. You're a lawyer, aren't you? He's doing that on purpose. I know it. So, what about this defense request? It's related to the murder in People Park, actually. Guess what? We found Mr. Eldoon's noodle stand at the scene of the crime. Did you now? That's unusual indeed. Never heard of a noodle stand being used as a murder weapon. I think the murder weapon was something else. You mean you don't know what the murder weapon was? That funny detective lady won't let us on the scene. What kind of detective wears a lab coat anyway? Lab coat? Didn't think she'd be involved with this. You know her? You could say that. So, you know her, don't you? I met her on a case. This was about 10 years ago. She was still a high school student at the time. Would make her about the same age as me. That's my daddy. He knows all the police types. Oh wait, maybe you know that other guy too. That other guy? That shining prince on the motorcycle. Prince? Alright, tell me about this Prince of Trucy's. Indulge your concern, father. He was at the crime scene. He looked just like Mr. Gavin. Did he now? You know him? My guess is he's Christoph Gavin's younger brother. His brother? We're acquaintances, after a fashion. Clavier Gavin, rock and roll god incarnate. Clavier, what a lovely name. He's so dreamy. Didn't know Mr. Gavin had a brother. What was he doing out there? I have a feeling you'll be crossing paths again soon. Now, what was the problem again? Having trouble investigating the crime scene in the park? Yeah, that detective woman won't let us. Go to the office. Under the silk top hat you'll find a bottle of white powder. Try taking that to this detective. White powder? I hope it's not what I think it is. Just take it to her. It'll be fine. You'll see. Oh, and tell her I said hi. So this must be the silk top hat Mr. Wright mentioned. Let's take a closer look. Whoa! You know what this is, Trucy? I remember finding some in Daddy's dresser when I was little. I thought it was sugar, so I licked it. He got mad at me. It's getting more and more suspicious. Let's go talk to that detective. She's sure to know what that white powder is. Does this ring any bells? Is that? He couldn't. Where'd you get that? I brought it from the office. You work at the Wright & Co. law offices, yes? Yeah, sort of. Detective Sky, how do you know my daddy? Daddy? I'm sorry. Who did you say you were? Trucy Wright, Phoenix Wright's daughter. What? Mr. Wright has a daughter? You seem shocked. Well, if you're Mr. Wright's daughter and you're his apprentice, then I'm available to help you in any way I can. Oh, Thanks. You can start by not calling me Mr. Wright's apprentice.
This powder is used for detecting fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
I guess you might call it a memento from the time I spent with Mr. Wright.
Powder memories.
If you find any evidence with fingerprints on it, please let me know. You'll dust footprints.
Oh, she's quite the eager beaver all of a sudden.
The report came in late last night. The body was found much as you see it now. Except it was a real body.
Why?
Why was the body pulling the noodle stand? If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't still be here.
What about the cause of death?
A bullet wound to the temple. He was shot by a pistol. A pistol? Not the easiest thing to come by in this day and age.
Unless you're a cop. Gangster.
Incidentally, the victim's name was Mericadis. I just received the autopsy report, in fact. I mean, really, what's up with this case? It's enough to make me want to run off, pulling a mysterious noodle stand behind me. Not so mysterious, actually. We should tell her, Apollo. After all, we know where the stand came from. Unlikely story. I didn't come here to play games, you know.
Actually, we do know where the noodle stand came from. The noodle stand's owner is...
Who's the old guy?
This is the proprietor of Eldoon's Noodles, Mr. Eldoon himself.
He's famous in this part of town. Not bad. I guess Mr. Wright picked the right kids for this job. That saved me a lot of work. Thanks. What sort of person was the victim anyway? You mean, what did he do? He was a doctor.
A doctor. I'm starting to see a connection here.
Who? Me? I'm just a supervisor for this crime scene.
Detective Sky.
I was out of the country for a while. I came back to be a forensic scientist. Oh, were you studying abroad? Something like that. I was studying in Europe. Forensic science, mind you. But when I got back here, they threw me in the criminal affairs just like that. Why didn't you just become a forensic expert in Europe? Well, I suppose that was an option, but I had a lot of favours to repay to people back here.
Favours? Wasn't she in high school when she left?
What? What's that look for? I was involved in an incident before I left. But Mr. Wright and his people helped me out. I owed them. Really? I had no idea.
She's been out of the country for a while. She probably doesn't know about Mr. Wright's current state of affairs. Could you tell us a bit about the defendant? He's the only son of the Kataki family, yes?
Waki Kataki. I don't know if he is the boss's son, but he has certainly thrown his weight around. Violently in the detention center. I see.
Why was he arrested in the first place?
You are a defense attorney, aren't you? You're not his by any chance?
Actually, yes I am.
Well, we have a witness to the moment of the crime.
Huh?
The witness called the police. They'll be testifying during the trial tomorrow. What?
Could you tell us a bit more about the victim?
Well, let's see. Apparently he's a physician at a clinic in the area. Quite well off too, from the sound of it. The clinic's name is Parakeetus clinic. Maybe that's why the cop car was parked there. What? You've been to the clinic?
Yeah, though on a related issue. Told the detective about the case of the stolen noodle stand.
You see, so that means Dr. Merrick stole the stand and pulled it all the way here.
That would seem to be the case.
Why?
Don't ask me. It's a knife.
The shift to be precise. Oh, lingo. The defendant, Waki Kitaki, is the son of known gangsters. The police are assuming this belongs to him.
Wait, but wasn't the murder weapon a pistol? Look at this. There's a handprint on the shift.
A handprint? Then there might be a fingerprint. Let's investigate. Right, first choose the fingerprint you want to examine.
Choose a fingerprint.
Look closely at the handle. See, there's more than one fingerprint here, there. Those black spots. That's right. Pick the one you want to analyze. Right, let's get detecting.
Oh, she's practically glowing with excitement.
First, sprinkle some aluminium powder over the print. Just touch the screen like this, see? The oil left by the print absorbs the aluminium powder, so you just dust it on. And blow it off. Blow? It's like whistling. You know how to whistle, don't you? You just put your lips together. Wow, amazing. It's like magic. It isn't though.
Right, let's give it a shot.
Incidentally, it's important that you cover the entire fingerprint with the powder.
Let's actually stop at the beginning. That's pretty well covered. Hmm. I think I just found a point I can't get by. Hmm. Yes, that's all I remember. There's screen layouts. Crap like this while I wanted my goddamn Capture 3DS to work. Of course, it decided to bloody well not frigging work with the goddamn software anymore. Hmm. Will this work? Probably not. Wait, no, it's working. It's working oddly, but it's working. Okay. Oh, I can't believe it, actually. Oh, this is weird. Right, I'm just going to mute myself while I do this. Oh, good lord, that was weird.
Good. Clear. Quite impressive. Next, to match the print. The police office has samples so you can tell whose finger this print belongs to.
I'd better actually check this hasn't done anything to the recording. Quickly.
Still.
I'd better actually check this hasn't done anything to the recording. Quickly.
Still.
I can't really tell. I've got down low. I'm gonna have to watch the video after. Oh, right now everything's messed up.
The police office has samples so you can tell whose finger this print belongs to.
That doesn't sound like as much fun as actually finding the print.
Okay, pick the person whose print you think this is. You probably have a good idea whose knife this is already.
So, the fingerprints do belong to the defendant.
Yes, isn't it amazing? The powers of science. The power of science. It's my life. Apollo, she's sparkling.
And I'm dimming.
Look sharp, spirits up. The real fight is yet to come. Chin up, Polly.
Trial hasn't even started. I'm already losing. Gotta be a good clue or two around here.
You and your trash cans. Go ahead and knock yourself out.
Please, can't you see I'm doing my... Huh? Look! Another pair of underwear!
Well, Apollo, you're a genius at finding panties.
Stop saying that. Wait. These aren't...
They're not mine.
These have been stolen too.
So, have you met the defendant?
No.
Visiting hours are almost over at the detention center. You might think about wrapping up here and heading over.
Good idea. Don't know what good it will do. We have a witness and a knife with prints. I mentioned I've got a bad feeling about this.
Don't worry, it's a right tradition. It's like a right tradition.
Some traditions I can live without. This is Mr. Altoon's noodle stand, obviously.
That's the Altoon in big letters, doesn't it?
And the mark on this paper lantern there looks familiar.
It's going to be a little weird telling him, what with the corpse and all.
Anyway, that wraps up 3 of our cases.
That's right. Congratulations, Apollo.
Leaves us with 1 case that's worse than all 3 put together. Murder. I'm sorry, meeting hours for the day are all done. But we still have 3 minutes. I'll put in your request, but don't expect anything. The father's talking in the private room with him.
The father? You mean like a priest?
I mean the suspect's father. Mr. Winfred Big Wins Kitaki himself. Ugh, not someone I care to meet. Die you! You're the one on your way out, old. Ah, they're here. Whoa, this guy radiates power. Power with a cute apron? You, Rocky's lawyer. Yes, sir. Well, I'm Big Wins Kitaki, fourth head of the Kitaki family, capiche? Actually, I came to speak to your son. Mr. Justice. Yes. My son's innocent. He killed no one. If he were found guilty, it wouldn't be good. Capiche? Yes, I'm all about capiching. Capiche loud and clear. You've got to do more than just understand to make it. You'll learn, even if the lesson comes at the end of your short life. I don't feel so good. What's the big idea, old man? You can't treat me like a kid no more. Not now. You know, I wanted to go to the clink. I like it here. You must be Rocky. G's not a G till he does our time. It's out. You'll see when I get out of here, things will change. Silence. My apologies, Mr. Justice. He's usually such a nice boy. Forgive me if I have a hard time believing that. You can't take me under your wing this time, old man. You heard me. I don't need no trial. I did it. I think that's enough for today, Mr. Justice. Don't let me down tomorrow. So much for talking to our client.
We made so much progress today. We even found my panties. I had fun at least.
Of course, the biggest mystery of all remains. We were supposed to build a case for the trial.
Oh, almost forgot. It's time for my show. Tonight I'm performing at the Wonder Bar. You should come check it out.
Mr. Wright's not here today.
He said his old foot injury was acting up.
Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday.
Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Juicy.
Yes, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes justice. Started my voice training at 5 this morning.
Oh, do some now. I want to see. Here.
Oh, okay. My name is Apollo Justice and I'm fine!
That sounds more like self-mantra than voice training.
I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Good morning. Yo, sup? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Not really. Okay. Don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between me and you, old man. I Ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Sounds like they've both been voice training too, Apollo.
Worst fears realised. Trial's starting and I still haven't had a real talk with my client. Court is now in session for the trial of Wookie Kataki. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready to rock and roll, Herr Judge. It's him, the print. It's him, the print guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor.
It's Mr. Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence?
You know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we've got real popular. Hard to say none to your fans when 3 of your singles go platinum, yeah?
I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I feared that you might still be distraught over that one trial.
Not to worry, Herr Judge. I wouldn't miss this day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength? The little boy who bested my brother. It was worth cancelling a show or two.
Understood. You may give your opening statement to the court.
Before that, I was thinking... Is the air in the courtroom not a bit serious?
It is a court of law.
That's no way to get the crowd jumping, Herr Judge.
They're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom.
Done, baby. The day we played my way. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get up in order to get down to prosecuting. This is crazy. The victim, Paul Merikitis, director of the Merikitis Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand.
What in the world was the doctor doing pulling a noodle stand?
Yes, I believe Eve will only find out that one by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it's an undeniable truth that he shot the victim.
What do you mean undeniable?
Not to glare at anyone here, Justice. Glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see.
Very well. Please admit this witness to the court.
Fucking hell, the accent. 9. Not yet. First, there's a little matter to be cleaned up. Could you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see the guitar for a second.
What is it, Prosecutor Gavin?
The motive, Herr Judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the doctor at the Merikitis Clinic?
Objection!
Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that. Oh, but what if the defendant specifically requested to do so? As he did this morning. I want to give a shout out to all my homies. I believe he said.
What?
What is right? They always say that on stage, you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like you got you good, huh, Polly?
Well, this is highly unusual, but The court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, you son of the defendant, Mocky, are you?
I ain't your son, old man. You step to a Kentucky, you better be prepared to step strong. You step to a public official, you'd best be prepared to step into jail. You got to hand it to him. Walkie sure has guts. It's all his guts I'm worried about.
Well then, the court will hear your testimony on the defendant's motive. On the defendant himself.
I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my op, something bad. And then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go and get another doctor patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his bed that night, no? What I'm saying?
You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that. I'll tell you one thing, that doc was whack.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
Can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all of this.
Ugh.
First of all, the word you're looking for is quack. Isn't that a little harsh? He's your family doctor. Who asked you, pointy locks? Just who do you think you are?
You lawyer.
Look, I ain't trying to hear that. He was a quacker, plain and simple. By someone, you mean? Was there anyone with the squatter center with this doctor? Besides you, I mean? You better ask somebody else, Holmes. What do I care? I made up my own mind and did what had to be done. Straight gangster style.
But why are you so mad at this doctor?
Yo, sit back and listen while I drop it, J-Man. Just threw this kid in the chair already. So you were a patient in the Maractus clinic half a year ago. For what reason? What you might call a mark of honor. Can you explain precisely what was wrong? We had a little run-in with the Rivales family. That's when I pulled a jack move. And ran into an ambush. Jeep busted a cap right in me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting, and ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time by yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys.
So you were carried to the Maractus clinic from there.
Apparently he was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart and he's still alive? I can catch bullets between my teeth, but I never learned how to catch them in my heart. The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you see, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it, Holmes. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad.
It sounds as though Head Doctor wished to hide his mistake. That is why he let the defendant go.
He's a liar. Straight up. He's a badder G than me.
So, this bullet is still...
You know it. I can still feel it. Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart.
Your words are like a bullet. Straight... Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles.
Oh, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice. Word, J-Man. Wasn't no accident, that's for shizzles. It seems that there were issues with this doctor. Man, putting him down like that, putting him down was like doing the world a favour.
Rocky, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Chin up, Apollo. Back straight.
But why did this mistake only come to light that day?
It was found during the family health checkup.
The family checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All us G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than fade away, bizoy.
A relief to hear.
Huh? What's a relief?
Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry is close to your heart. If not attended to immediately, it could kill you.
What?
Yes, Dr. Meractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life.
No way. That's whacked.
There is proof. Your checkup report. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Well, now that the place is hopping, let's get this gig started.
Started?
We've had enough of a warm-up act, yeah? Time to hear from the witness. Wookie sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy? All right. So, you will tell us your name and occupation? My name is Wesley Stickler. My occupation? I take it profit society at large, under which definition I must confess to being. However, we must acknowledge the meaning of it, which is commonly attached to the notion of occupation. And once we have accepted this reality, confusion is not cast out per se, the vagueness inherent in all representation. By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in pursuit of truth, honing my... Herr Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime.
You ask, quite simplistically, what I saw. Understand that Homo sapiens these designs to receive and interpret data. Ugh. That night I passed through the park on my way home from shopping, and when I saw them, one man putting a stand, another facing him.
I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot. The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Was there anyone else in the park at that time? I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not. The pistol our witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Why home from shopping, you say? Why go through the park?
Ah, fascinating inquiry. Revealing my culpable of being insufficiently verbose. Let us consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time I am capable of solving 2 GMAT problem sets. On average, it requires me 3 minutes 24 seconds, ergo the time to complete to average. However, in the case that the questions are in a verbal category, admitted not...
That's enough. Enough. I get the idea.
Mr. Justice, the court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month.
Please, I have a recording booked after this trial. And I've got a show to perform. Gee, sorry you're all so busy. Were these men talking by any chance?
Now that you mention it, they were, though I cannot claim I heard them clearly. Only fragments, such as, "You lied to me, oh, and I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, pal."
Just as our defendant claims. I believe he wished to teach the victim what it felt like to take a bullet in the heart.
If that's true, then this is a vital piece of testimony.
Sounds like you heard them clearly enough to me.
Might I be allowed to amend my testimony?
What now?
To be precise, he did not say pal, but man. Yes, that was the way of it. I swear it on my diploma.
What's the difference? And this other man, who was he? How can you be so sure it was the defendant? The crime took place at night. It would have been too dark.
Perhaps I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier.
Huh?
You see, in class I always sit in the very backmost seat. Do you know why?
Who cares?
Because I do not wish anyone to copy my perfect notes. And this relates to your testimony, how? I mention this to illustrate my predisposition to that which is perfect. It was dark, you say, yet there are lights in the park. If I say the defendant was in the park that night, then he was in the park that night. It is hard, immutable. It is a hard, immutable fact.
He sure is confident. Seems to be telling the truth too. Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same one as the one just submitted as evidence?
Or so a common witness would be tempted to say.
Huh?
Yet I am no common witness. I see not only events as they are, but the logical structure governing these events. First, we must consider the fact that it was night. My field of vision due to its vision of its illumination, considering that the pistol let us call out object A, becomes difficult to say with certainty that object A was indeed object A. I think he means he couldn't see it clearly.
Ugh, my badge for a normal witness.
Yet, the fact that a pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see it when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon.
Are you absolutely certain are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired?
Yes, of course it was one shot. Why do you ask?
Contradiction, finally. Mr. Stickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice. It's a clear contradiction. Good eyes, Herr Justice. You're cool, real cool. You really think so? Yet, there is no reason why the other shot had to have been fired that night.
Meaning?
This pistol came from the Kentucky family mansion, yeah? I think it's not unreasonable to assume the pistol had been fired once before that night. During, perhaps, another altercation. Ugh, he's got a point. Judging from his smug expression, I'd say Prosecutor Kevin had that answer ready before you even spotted the problem. He seems pretty confident in his testimony. We always make the biggest mistakes when we are our most confident. He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it. Right, I'm gonna give that testimony a listen. I've got to work with. To work with. Phew, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you relaxing, I see, Herr Justice? Oh, objection!
Well, once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Hello, pace yourself. The trial's not over yet. Right, look at this.
No autopsy report. Is there a problem with the autopsy report?
Right, problem. Yes, the problem is the location of the entry wound.
The location?
You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not?
I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simple. First, understand that when I say square, what do I mean by this? For example, the deflection of a meter, the wavelength of the light emitted by a krypton particle. As we know, it is well known the fact that krypton particles are rare, which points to a basic facility in your line of reasoning.
Mr. Justice,
Yes?
what's your objection to these, krypton particle things?
This is the big time, and you're obsessed with something so small? You disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here.
Do tell.
Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple.
Temple?
Mr. Stickler, you say quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it?
Blech.
It is, right? Finally?
Objection!
Hair Justice. Oh, Hair Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Try to shake the whiteness by objecting to trifles. Trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix, right, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to his testimony. Hey, Herr Forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you were walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, Herr Forehead? Well, I guess we're trying to stop them. I'd probably shout stop. And you, Fräulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream eek. And you, Herr Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? The victim turned his head at the last moment. Ah, yes. Thank you for jogging my memory.
It sounds like an addendum to the testimony is required.
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Cease this! Cease this at once, you two! I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Thereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
I see. So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure.
Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would.
Blech, my throat's going already.
Witness, Mr. Stickler, was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness.
So, you saw a raised pistol, weren't you frightened?
It can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw that pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action.
That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot.
You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind.
He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed.
Are you you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park.
And the victim responded to that clarion call.
Right.
Did you hear the gunshot at the same time when the victim turned?
Indeed. I would say about the same time, to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step.
I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly?
He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed.
He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked. A common tale, but true.
Unfortunately, before I could take further action,
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
it all happened so fast. I'm afraid I hadn't the time.
Doesn't something about that strike you as odd, Apollo?
What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes.
In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find something. Find what?
I like that contradiction. Kind of sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little clearer.
She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Wait a second.
Is another misleading request? Yet you're so beholden to your own model of discourse, you can't see how it affects you.
Come again?
Wait a second, you say. A second. Are we intended to wait just that? A single second? 1/16th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes...
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honour.
am I to understand you're objecting to the length of a second?
Yes. I mean, no. Here. Just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
A common ploy made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran.
That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
The little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
Then let's think like adults, shall we, for a line?
Huh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice, would the killer have been wearing gloves?
The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some traces of prints remained. Which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, you wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon with his hand and fled.
Hmm.
And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
That sounds solid to me. Well, Herr Forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work.
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said?
Huh? Isn't what obvious?
When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Rocky drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Rocky threw away.
You're right.
He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed true that was seized by the teacher, the poor girl might.
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else.
At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Like that smile of your pretty face, Gavin.
Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movie last night.
Right, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Indeed.
Oh, Herr Forehead.
You're forgetting two other things you've just proven.
Huh?
One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Woggy Kitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim.
Oh. Indeed.
Never underestimate Gavin is the lesson here.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming, yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are, assuming that my assumption is no better.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you trace the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that.
Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? Seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
Better find a way to take this testimony down quick. Luckily it's not this voice. It's not the voice I do for Stickler that's destroying my throat. Ugh.
Hold it!
Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
That would mean run in the opposite direction from the Kataki mansion. But don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was look back once he was out of sight. Ugh, how did he know that's where I was going? You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab floor.
Cool answer. Very cool. So nothing strange about how he acted. She looks like she has something to say.
Hold it!
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect theology. A perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's going to cry. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think that there would be a few people around in the park.
So we just stood there watching. Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you've got something to say, by all means then say it. Ugh, I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, hair, forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit. Ugh, there's nothing fishy about that testimony at all.
It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony.
There are a number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves, which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion.
No! Seems we've come to the end of the line here.
No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. There you, hair, forehead.
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Waki Kataki.
Eek! Trucy? Nobody move.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you?
Not in the verdict in this court. Not yet.
Wait, you... one of the Katakis?
The Katakis? You mean the notorious gangsters?
You don't want to see me give this pretty little gal a new smile. Do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? This court will not bow to the pressure from the likes of...
Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess. 20 minutes. Or I promise you will regret it. Wait, how did he disappear so fast?
Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man.
Hello, GGSR. Trucy? Trucy?
Move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show.
Trucy, you're okay. I thought... I've been alright.
Don't cry, Apollo.
Good for nothing gangsters. Some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else...
What the heck is that?
Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat.
You look marvellous, darling.
He's a big hit on stage. At the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it?
I mean, you... Trucy, there are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here.
Huh?
Remember what you said to Wookie's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son.
But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do?
Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will.
Trucy, no one stage abductions anymore. There, no more stage abductions, please.
I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident, I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all you've got.
You can see what he's feeling?
Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times.
The times there was a there was a contradiction. Oh, I think I remember them, sure.
There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure. And sure enough, there was a contradiction.
Well, that's true, but how does that help us?
Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand.
Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol? His fingers got all tense, and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book.
How am I supposed to see that?
Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
What?
I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
You mean that's how Mr. White won all those games?
It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Right, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth.
Watch testimony, perceive the truth. The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that. Watch the testimony, perceive his true feelings. She's serious.
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo.
What was that she said before the trial started? Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy.
This what he meant by us being fine. Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. I'm to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice. Let's do it.
Apollo.
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover from Mr. Hat as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast. And boy, are my arms tired.
Right.
Court is now back in session.
Right, we're fine.
I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice,
Oh, you mean me?
don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat?
Right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that.
You settled that?
Yes, it was an out-of-court settlement, right?
Perhaps Fraulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? You think he's on to me?
I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness? Right, the defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something?
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling this for time.
Understood, Your Honor.
Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
There. Oh well. This is just the same thing he said last time. Why are you not a big thing again? I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot.
Focus. If only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says, my eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet. What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow.
I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony.
This sounds crazy. But the bracelet is trying to tell me something. See. So you called immediately after witnessing the murder?
The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them?
Wait, Apollo. This has to be it.
Wait, you mean his habit?
Don't forget Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
The only time he ever had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for his habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. You know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I feel it reacting to something about the witness.
Your bracelet?
Not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Trucy. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet as it reacts to the testimony. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly. It's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else.
Apollo?
Trucy, what's happening to me?
This is what I meant by focusing.
Focusing.
In this statement, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does.
That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out.
Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch, his habit. You remember it, right?
Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book.
You got it. Right now you're looking for the witness's face. Your eyes are sort of bugging out.
I'll bet they are.
First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand.
His hand?
You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place.
She's right. I can see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint.
Perfect. Now you're really ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch.
Perceive.
Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit.
Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page?
That's right. That's your signal to look closer, to perceive. Find his weak spot and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush.
Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter.
I'm a magician, thank you very much.
So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers.
Don't worry. If you miss it, you can always try again.
Right. Looking out nervous, Twitch. Here comes Justice. I saw it just now. I could see it.
Mr. Justice, do you have something to say?
All this banging of the desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know.
Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? In the very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? What to ask? Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone.
Why? Whatever for?
Show me and you'll find out.
Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see.
You don't have it?
Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone?
No. Where did you get that?
That's the phone from yesterday.
Look, a cell phone.
Someone dropped it beneath this tyre. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure.
I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment?
Wait just a minute. What is the meaning of this?
This cell phone was found yesterday. In the Maractus Clinic garage.
In the Maractus Clinic? Why, that's where the victim lived.
That's impossible.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone.
Payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all?
Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to indicate with a startlingly high degree of accuracy, it was right around here.
That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie?
There can be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage.
What are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all.
That's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though we were trying to kill him.
Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night.
Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true. I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night.
Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to a connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime.
Well, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder? course I have evidence. I like your swagger, their forehead. Hit it.
The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say.
The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is...
And that's a side view mirror.
As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m. just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler. The only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m, the night of the murder in the park. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means. You did break into the victim's garage that night.
This is most unexpected. Mr. Justice, are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Al Maractus?
No, stop! This is too much. This can't be happening. Prosecutor, say something!
I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilty.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness a crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Yes, well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know.
Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please.
That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time round. Right, no problem, I hope. Here comes justice. So, you went shopping, which means you were holding a grocery bag when you witnessed the murder taking place?
Well, yes, of course.
Incidentally, the prosecution has received no report of this domestic detail.
Mr. Stickler, can you explain yourself?
No, I mean, yes, I did go shopping, really. I walked around the supermarket, trying out the free samples. It's a deeply spiritual time for me.
I'm sure the store clerks would disagree.
Do you think sampling free food counts as a religion?
In any case, that night, I sampled to my heart's content and was on my way back home, yes.
That's when you passed in front of the Maractus clinic.
That's correct.
That was a pretty suspicious pause there.
Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific? Can you show us the exact route you took on the night of the murder?
Of course. The supermarket is here along the main road. My way home from there. My home from there takes me past the Maractus clinic. This is probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet, woe is I walked on unaware of my loss. And walked right into that fateful park.
I can already see the flaws. Which entrance did you enter the park from?
Well, to be exact, one might say that I went in from the entrance closest to the Maractus clinic.
The same entrance our victim used. Did you notice anything when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance?
I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet, though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say.
This part of the testimony is the key. I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? Do you have to remember the noodle stand?
Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that's what it was. That was it.
For remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice.
What about that sign? Could be important. So, the sign on the noodle stand said noodle. It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles.
I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself.
Why, you remember the sign on the stand the victim was pulling? It said noodle.
So the sign said noodle. You're absolutely sure.
Let me be frank. Yes. In fact, the word unsure isn't even in my dictionary. Not the word uncertain.
Not the word uncertain. He was wasting time looking up stuff again.
Noodle, eh? I like that. It tells you what you're getting, no nonsense.
Tells me a lot more than that, actually.
Why are you smiling like that, Apollo?
I'm absolutely sure it was the defendant.
Stop asking me the same questions over and over. This isn't some kind of makeup test.
It's a makeup test, Apollo.
Nothing a good student like you has to worry about. I'll find his weak spot and press it till he breaks.
His habit isn't acting up, which means he isn't lying.
I was kind of relying on my person to get me through this one.
He's pretty unsettled. The odds are really high that you can get something out of him.
gleam in your eyes. You're a gambler's daughter through and through.
I'm a magician, thank you very much.
Are you absolutely sure the sign read noodle?
Why, just last week my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It read, without a doubt, noodle.
I see.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes?
Let's take a look at our map, shall we? So you're claiming when you saw the sign you were standing... here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand. And to carefully read what the sign says. See, the sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. Eldoons.
Inconceivable! I'm certain it was definitely noodle for sure. Positive. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight.
I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign we saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle. What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read the way that Mr. Stickler claims?
What?
Mr. Justice, show us this spot.
The witness actually viewed the stand from this location. That side. The witness was standing here, on the opposite side.
How do you know that?
In viewed from the south, the sign on the stand read Eldoons, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand.
Oh, this side says noodle.
Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
You got me.
So what? So what? What does it matter if you saw the killing from the north or south side? It makes no difference at all.
He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change?
It changes everything, Apollo.
Trucy?
Remember his testimony from before? Though, to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. The killer and the victim are facing each other. And at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point the victim turns his head to look. And the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right?
Right? But if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that That reverses the whole scenario.
Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, the bullet would have to hit his left temple.
Oh,
In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible.
that's right.
So, now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the moon location takes on an entirely different meaning.
Indeed. You're absolutely correct, Fraulein.
What meaning?
The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north.
North. Oh. Well, that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing.
Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in his right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Order! Well, apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
She's flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out. Clarify 1 point for me if you would, Hair Forehead. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer.
No, please, looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say.
What are you going to do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why, now!
The word confession isn't in my dictionary.
Hair Forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Herr Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, did you say you were accusing the witness just now of a crime other than murder? Your reason, the court's orders.
Yeah, I know he's guilty of something. But what crime other than murder is there? Do you have evidence that shows him his involvement in some other crime?
Your evidence. The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime.
The evidence is this.
What is that? Woman's underwear?
Hey, those are mine.
Don't look at me like that! Order! Mr. Stickler. Well, I can't see this. It comes as a shock. It's not what it seems. My patron is...
On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m, a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and finds himself in no other place than the Mericus Clinic's garage.
Ah,
Incidentally, these panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree.
out. It's not what it looks like. Order, order, order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. It's not what it seems. So, are we to understand that you were silent, not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments? Perhaps you are not aware that my school's name was originally written Ivy. I stands for intelligent, V stands for valiant, C. Your point. I'm not done now. I'm a major in the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? Yes, we speak of IVU Science Department. Yes, we of IVU Science Department are very valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge?
Come on, you're talking about a girl's panties here.
No, you don't understand. A mystery is unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, these panties are the promised land. From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate for science. A full-size car tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed.
A tire?
Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of those panties. But that's not all. First there was the tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken. One mystery after another. It was magic.
Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar.
Huh?
He's talking about the magic panties trick.
I just don't understand. A boom from a pair of panties. It's the very laws of physics.
Frozen chicken? Chicken? Trucy? Whatever happened to dogs and bunny rabbits?
Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick. You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For me, they are an object for serious study.
I wonder. There's been a recent rash of panty snatchings in the area. Were they all you?
I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties flapping in the breeze, maybe this would be the pair that would intrigue me. Every night as she chased me through the streets, I would perhaps this was the night I would seize the truth. Yet woe was I, for once again that lacy pattern. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained.
You refer to our witness's other lie, yes? The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but he was in fact in the north.
Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that?
Be my guest, Herr Forehead. Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say that you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea?
Oh, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there
Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location?
The evidence that shows why he lied is this.
What? More panties?
How many panties are you carrying in your pocket, Herr Forehead? These are the last, honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, you can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't.
Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties.
So, these panties are your handiwork as well.
That night, I'd been chased, hounded into the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while. Then, abandoning the panties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion, a giant pair of panties,
I don't know those plumes belong to the mob.
I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder.
The murder of Dr. Maractus.
I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me?
That's when you disposed of the bloomers.
Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne.
A fascinating if disturbing tale. I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial.
One last thing, if I might.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin.
Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely that the defendant, Oki Kataki, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Oki Katai has a clear motive.
Indeed, the defendant Wakigatai is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else on the scene at the time. Yet, a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigations from both the defense and prosecution.
Ja, baby. No problem.
Very well. This brings the trial for the day to a close. Court is adjourned.
Do-do-do-do. Right. Blech. Really? I think this PC at sometimes. It's not really the PC's fault, is it? It's the frigging things I load up. Anywho. Well, that's all. Okay. Anyway, that will be all for now. And I'll be back for the next half tomorrow. Hey. So, for now,